Okay, now let's start with how to create an array. So to create an array, we will first write the data type of the elements we will be storing into the array, square brackets, a name of the array, here we use nums, and to initialize the elements of the array during the time of creation, we will be using curly brackets and entering the elements by separating them with commas. So hence, so here an array is created with the names and the elements with 4 elements 20, 30, 40 and 50. Like this This array have only the elements of data type int. Now suppose we need to create an array of car data type. So the format will be same: data type, square brackets, array name equal to curly brackets to initialize, if we want to initialize the elements. So if we take a basic format of it, it will be data type, square brackets, array name, elements. Okay. So the array is created. Now suppose we want to access an element from this array. So as we have discussed, and from the elements of an array are accessed or modified using the indexes of the array. So if we want to access in this array the element on the index 3, we will be writing accessing elements. Suppose we are going to print this. So to access any element from an array, we will write the array name, square brackets and the index. So here for the index, suppose we are taking the index 2. So on index 2 we have 40. So it should print 40. Let's test it. We have 40. Now we can see here there are 4 elements in the array. Now suppose there are a very large number of elements, so we can't count them. So we have a method in Java for arrays that will tell us the number of elements present in the array, which is called length. So length of an array will print the length of the array. We will just write the array name dot length. So the answer should be 4. Fan of what? Okay. I don't know what happened. So we got 4. Let's go further. Now to modify an element of the array. File an element. To modify an element, we need to use the index. So first we will call the element by the index. Like we are calling here the element on the one index. We need to modify it with 32, 35. Here it is modified. We will see. Now if we need to print the same array, print an array. To print an array, we will be using a for loop which will run the I value from 0 till the last index value, which will be number of elements minus 1. So it should be smaller than nums.length, because nums.length gives the number of elements in an array. So this we will print it, println. So we call the element. Now in the index value we will put I, because I holds the index value of the array. Print it. See, here we got 20, 35, 40 and 50, means the place where we modified the element at index 1 equal to 35 had worked successfully. So it was all about if we initialize the value, it was all when we initialize the element of the array. Now suppose we don't want to initialize the array, we want to take the input from the user. So let's create an array, int square bracket array name. Now here we will write new for a new array of data type and the size of the array. Here we will take it as 5. Now to input elements in array, we will be again using an for loop. Int I equal to 0, I smaller than nums.length, and I increment. Now we need to enter the elements, so we will need a scanner. We will create a scanner sc equal to new scanner system.n. Now we will take the elements from the user. We will just write num, we will call the element with this, with nums square bracket I equal to sc dot the input of the user, and using we can check it by printing the array form. Okay, let's see this. Here we go. Now we need to enter the elements and 5 elements. Here we go with the 5 elements. Now it should print the elements. So the array has the value we inputted as a user into the system. Now suppose we don't input any value into the array, and the array is just created but its values are not initialized. So the default value is okay. So the default value of the array, which is only created but its values are not defined. The initial default values are 0.